My horse now has a splint the side on his leg.
They canceled the check and told me if I would just simply call and apologize, then I'd get my money.
Once I was harassed by his wife, who basically treated me like a criminal.
We heard nothing about splints, and to be honest with you, it's not the same horse.
My baby,
That's completely unreasonable.
Like...
If you want to fight, I can get you boxing gloves, but we're not here for that. My first case ever with worms.
Come here, Sophie. Get him, Rusty.
Can I say something?
No. If she hadn't had an oral agreement, how do you do? I know you've all been sworn. I have read your complaint, sir. You're suing for services rendered as a farrier?
Yes, I am.
And how much did you charge, sir?
$75.
And is this the horse that you shoed?
No, that is not.
What horse did you shoot?
She owns two horses, or did, and the other horse is also a thoroughbred, but it's also gray, but it's a white gray horse.
White?
This horse here is a dapple gray horse. It is not the same horse.
Okay.
I'm sorry, he has shot this horse twice and my other horse one time.
Okay. Did you pay him the $75?
No, Your Honor, I didn't.
Why?
Well, first thing I'd like to bring to the court's attention is that...
First thing you want to do is answer my question.
Okay. Well, basically, my horse now has a splint the side on his leg, if you can see on his right leg, that bone calcification that's sticking off to the side.
Yeah.
I have testimony from the shoer who previously did him before he was under Jim Crane's services that the horse did not have a splint. My horse now has to wear a wedge pad on his right front hoof because his heels were so uneven. Basically, I don't know if you would like to look at...
Are you telling me that you didn't pay the $75 because Mr. Crane didn't shoe the horse properly?
No, he didn't.
Is the other... You have an expert testimony to that effect?
I only have written testimony.
What kind of written testimony?
I have
Is it a statement or an affidavit?
a statement from both the trainer and the shoer. And then I also have written testimony from the shoer who did this horse after Mr. Crane.
Have you seen these statements, sir?
Yes, I have.
When did you shoe the horse?
Shoed the horse on June 24th. She sent me this check and canceled it.
June 24th? Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
She sent me this check and put stop payment on it a month later, on July 27th.
Later.
Excuse me?
Excuse me, I said a month later.
Yes.
Let me see it.
We called her 3 times for payment. We had to leave a message on a voicemail on a pager. She never returned the call. Then my wife, standing behind me, did call her early in the morning, got her. She accused she accused us all of harassing her because we wanted payment for the shoeing job. We heard nothing about at this point. This is, by the way, the day that the check came. The check came the same day that she talked to her on the phone. We heard nothing about splints, and to be honest with you, it's not the same horse. And also, splints occur by impact. Splints don't occur by whatever horseshoeing she says. On that note also, you should get your horse done every 6 weeks. Anybody in the horse business knows that. This horse that I shoed, which is not this one, it had been 12 weeks.
When did you first find out that the horse wasn't shoed properly and causing this problem?
Well, this horse was under the care of...
Ma'am, please answer my questions.
When actually...
I asked you when you first found out that the horse wasn't shoed properly.
Directly after the horse was shoed.
If you found out the day after, then why did you write him the check on the July 20th?
Immediately after he'd done my horse, I called because his right back hind had thrown a shoe, which he tacked back on. And there was basically a space missing. Usually shoers put something, it's called Bondo, across it.
You haven't answered my question. I want to know why you wait. If you found out the day after he shoed the horse on June 24th, why did you wait till July 20th to send him the check and then stop payment on it?
I didn't. After the horse was shot, I wasn't up at the stable. The trainer was riding the horse for me and taking care of the horse for me. Once I was harassed by his wife, who basically treated me like a criminal which calling me at 7:30 in the morning, and you know, I was sick for 3 months with a virus called Epstein-Barr. You know, this totally ruined my life, and these people are calling me up.
Well, how do you think they knew that you were ill?
I told her I was ill.
Your Honor, we had
Did you
no
tell her
contact
that's
with
why you weren't paying the amount?
This was before this happened. This was the first time he had shod my horse. The second time, I called them. I am intimidated by these people. They have been nothing but rude to me. I did not want to call them and complain. I was going to pay my bill. When she called me, the check was in the mail. Stressed me out. I went to the stable. I looked over my horse, and I'm not a shoer, but I can tell a shoddy job from a good job.
How long have you been having horses?
11 years.
11 years. What are you here to tell me, sir?
I'm here just to testify on behalf of Christina.
For what? For what, sir? Just tell me what you're going to say.
The fact that this was the horse that was done. Shortly afterwards,
You know anything about whether this was a good job or a bad job?
Yeah, it was. I've seen better shoes on homeless people, Your Honor. It's
on homeless people?
Sure.
Oh, that's supposed to be a joke?
Well, it's the problem with it is the angles of the hooves are completely off.
Are you a farrier?
No, I am not, sir.
Your Honor.
How long have you been around horses?
Most of my life.
Your Honor. I would like to ask him, how long has he been shoeing horses? And where were you on the 24th? Were you in this town, or were you in the town of that, or anywhere near?
I don't recall.
In fact, I'll tell you what happened is he called me after they canceled the check and told me if I would just simply call and apologize, then I'd get my money.
Your Honor,
I just couldn't bring myself
spoke to
to
this individual in my entire life.
No, he talked to my wife. My wife, that's why she's here, I guess.
Did you talk to her?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Did you tell her that?
I asked for an apology for the rudeness.
For what?
For the rudeness, an apology for their unprofessionalism.
You think people who do work and expect to get paid are rude if they ask for it?
Yes, I believe so. But
you do?
Yes.
I
It
hope
was
you.
the manner in which they asked me for it.
I see. All right.
Your Honor, I would also like to add that when he first did this horse under my trainer's care, I was under the assumption that this person was qualified. Needless to say, I found out he does not have a business license to even operate in the city of Chino Hills, which I have proof right here, nor at his home address in Norco.
Do you have a business license, sir?
Your Honor, I work in about 100 different cities, and in those cities I do not.
Can I please show this to the judge?
I'm not so sure that I have to. You could probably tell me that.
I've talked to both cities.
I don't shoe horses in Norco, by the way.
Well, that's where your business mailing address.
Do you have a business license in the other city, sir? Do you have that license with you?
No, I don't.
And the city that this was performed in was Chino Hills, at Hillcrest Equestrian Center.
I didn't feel that was relevant to her owing me the money for the services, if I have a business license or not.
Well, it shows credibility.
I did the work. I have approximately a 300 horse route that I do every 6 weeks, and I've been doing it for 20 years.
And
I don't have all that business because I don't know what I'm doing.
The person who did him after you, which corrected my horse, now my horse is moving better. Hopefully his splint will go down.
Take a short recess. I'll come back and give you my decision.
I purchased Henderson prior to their breeding.
She told me she was going to be selling Henderson to Renee for $350 and 2 breedings to my females.
For a stud dog, he's worth well over $1,000.
Remain seated and come to order. This court is again in session.
Before I render a decision, there's one question I neglected to ask you, sir. Did you ever send a demand letter to her, certified mail, requesting payment on the check?
Yes, we did.
Do you have a copy of the return?
I do not.
There's no receipt. I did not receive a certified
Her boyfriend called and acknowledged to my wife that he'd received it, and that's why he called to tell me that if we'd apologized.
I never looked at this letter. I've never seen that letter.
Did you see the letter, sir?
I briefly read it over.
There was a demand letter then?
No, it was not a demand letter.
What was it?
It's right there.
But it came standard mail. It wasn't certified.
But you did receive it.
You did acknowledge it.
You did receive it.
The defendant did not have a chance to review that letter, though.
You didn't?
I mailed it over a month ago.
Did you ever read it?
No, I never read it.
What do you mean you didn't have a chance to review it?
Because I misplaced it. We searched everywhere for it, and we were going to bring it to court with us, but we couldn't find it.
Did you give it to her?
No,
You sure you didn't?
I don't live with her, so I don't live with her.
I don't care whether you live with her or not. That's your business.
No, I did not give that to her.
And you read it?
Sure.
And you didn't give it to her?
No.
Why not?
I totally neglected to.
You really expect me to believe you?
You can if you want to.
There's no question but what the plaintiff's entitled to $75. The code section does say you have to make a demand with a certified letter. That was apparently not done. Pretty hard for me to say I don't believe someone, but the demeanor of the defendant's witness, the boyfriend, and the defendant herself leave me very cold. And I don't mean anything with respect to the weather either. There's nothing to indicate that whatever the plaintiff did to the horse when he did the shoeing, that what he did was improper or incorrect or not in accordance with the standard of other farriers. There's also no indication, the research that I did, that farriers have to have a business license. And I'm going to allow the plaintiff $75 plus $5 for the amount that he had to pay for on the check. Judgment for plaintiff for $80.
I didn't shoe that horse. I don't know what she's talking about.
That's absolutely, utterly ridiculous. Obviously, I know which horse of mine was shod and when it was done. I was sick. I had a lot of stresses and problems in my life. Plus, my parents helped me out with this. So if they can't accept a payment after the service was done, they need to have people prepay. I wouldn't have done it if they wanted me to prepay for it.
You need to grow up. You grow up and start paying your bills.
You need to get a little less ignorant.
Ignorant, I won.
You won $80. What you owed us.
What you owed us. I was just doing the rest to spite you.
The Animal Court is now in session. The Honorable Joseph A. Wapner, Judge presiding.
I know you've all been sworn. I have read your complaint, ma'am, and also your cross complaint. You had a dog that you were breeding with the defendant's dog?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
What's the name of your dog?
Luna's Dawson's Henderson.
Well, can we just call it Henderson?
That sounds good to me.
Female or male?
Male.
Male. Where were you when you made the arrangement?
At Renee's house.
Who else was present?
Nobody.
Tell me what you said and what she said.
Well, she had always give me a pick of the litter because she didn't like pay stud service, which is fine with me. But it's either pick of the litter or $350 stud service. That's just standard.
And that's what you had agreed upon at that time?
Basically, yes, sir.
Okay. Were some puppies born?
Yes, sir.
How many?
She had 5 and 2 of them died.
So the 3 left?
Yes, sir.
Pick of the litter, is that true?
No, it wasn't.
What was it?
On previous litters that I had done with her, that is what she got, was pick of the litter. We did not
Why was it different in October?
I purchased Henderson prior to their breeding.
When did you purchase Henderson?
I purchased Henderson on March 31st, 1998. And I have the copy of my check to prove it.
Let me see the check.
Thank you.
Okay, who's the witness?
Kim Irick.
Me.
The 2 breedings that Francine requested with the sale of Henderson were intended for her dogs.
Where did this take place?
I had a discussion with Francine on the phone. I was not present for their conversation, but I had a discussion with Francine on the phone. And
What was the conversation between the two of you on the phone?
she told me she was going to be selling Henderson to Renee for $350 and 2 breedings to my females.
Did you have such a conversation with the lady?
I had a conversation with Kim, yes. I had already prearranged these stud services with Kim. Kim was worried about me not being able to have Henderson for breeding. Renee, I told her that no matter what, anything, that Kim had these 2 breedings. I had already had them lined up. So she assured me that she wouldn't do anything to make me back out of those 2 breedings. I was trying to make Kim relax.
What did you tell Kim about selling Henderson to the defendant, if anything?
Actually, I never said much to Kim. The talking between...
Well, you heard her testify.
I heard her
didn't you?
testify.
Is it what she said true?
No.
You receive a check for $350?
Yes, that was for stud fee of Abby.
The check itself says for Henderson.
It said for Henderson, but there was a total of $850 for stud service and Henderson. I took that.
What do you mean, and Henderson?
She was thinking about buying him because I was purchasing a puppy.
Do you have anything in writing saying that the stud fee was to be $850 plus Henderson?
No, it's all verbal.
Your Honor?
Yes,
I
ma'am.
apologize. I was at the house the time the conversation was going on. I was also at my mom's house when Renee bought the check over. Renee did not come into the house, so she did not know I was there, but I was there during the conversation and when she brought the check over.
Where were you when they were talking?
I was beside my mother. They were.
Well, how do you mean she didn't know you were there?
They were talking on the phone.
It all took place on the telephone.
Well, first Renee, I was there when Renee came
Were
over.
you listening in on another line?
No, I was sitting beside my mother listening to the conversation. It was a one-sided conversation.
You didn't hear what the defendant said?
No.
What did your mother say?
My mom was upset because Renee had already been over one time that day. This was the day of the second breeding. Renee had come over, and when my mom told her that she wanted pick of the litter, she was saying that she hoped there would be 2 white dogs so she could take a white dog and Renee would get a white dog. And Renee got upset because she did not want my mom to have pick of the litter. So Renee went home, she called my mom, she was upset about that. She had at that point decided that she wanted to buy the dog. So my mom told her, no, I want pick of the litter. If you want to buy the dog, it's $500. Renee came over and paid the stud fee of $350. 15, they only live 15 minutes apart. So Renee came back with the check for $350, knocked on the door, handed it to my mom, and left.
And the $350 was for what?
For the purchase of Henderson.
What was Henderson worth?
Henderson's worth anywhere between $800 to $1,000 because
No,
of his
on
pedigree.
March 31, 1998, what was it worth?
As for stud service, for a stud dog, he was worth well over $1,000. But I wasn't selling him to her for $1,000. It's $500 because she was a good friend.
How long were you good friends?
We've been friends for 4 or 5 years.
Who has the puppies now?
The puppies?
Yes.
The puppies have been sold.
How much did you get for them?
I got $350 for one, $400 for one, and $300 for the other.
And you have Henderson, obviously. This is Henderson?
Correct.
And how about the AKC papers that you want?
Francine has those.
How did you get AKC puppies that weren't even born?
Okay, I signed the AKC registration papers when Renee brought them over. When they are taken to the vet, you can't just send them in to AKC. You have to get permission from AKC. They give you a special paper to take to your vet, plus a litter registration. The only way that Renee can sign for her puppies is if I, as the legal owner, sign them. Well, I did sign them when she brought them to me.
Do you have the AKC papers?
Yes, sir, I do. That's his pedigree, too. I had to sign them, and I had no reason not to because she had gave me the $350, which I took for stud service. I won't go back on my word or anything on that.
You're saying the $350 was a stud fee?
Stud fee, yes,
and you
sir.
should get an additional $500.
For the dog,
And
because
you're willing to allow her to keep Henderson?
for the $500, yes, sir.
And if you get the $500, what about the AKC papers? Are you willing to turn them over to her?
I will sign the AKC papers, yes, sir.
This sounds to me like a good way to settle this case. Are you willing to keep Henderson and give her an additional $500 if she gives you the AKC papers?
The only reason why I don't want to give her any more money is because she's telling something that's false.
All right, let's go to your countersuit here. You're asking for $2,700?
The $2,700 comes from the puppies that my female is carrying right now, the pick of the litter that I would be getting from the female that bred with Henderson. None of those puppies are worth anything without papers, and Francine has refused to sign the papers.
Papers on Henderson.
Right.
But if you get the papers on Henderson,
then that would be
then
dropped.
the $2,700 goes down the drain.
The only thing that's different is because I had I had a person call me off of the litter of puppies that I had at that time requesting a stud. And I turned them down because I did not have his papers in this whole situation of Francine refusing to sign any litter registrations.
Take a short recess. I'll come back, give you my decision.
Sir?
Remain seated and come to order. This court is again in session.
As I stated, first of all, you had an alleged oral agreement. An oral contract is just as valid as a written contract, except it's harder to prove. You tell me you purchased Henderson and you give me a check, a canceled check, or at least a copy of a check. Plaintiff says she received it, and it says for Henderson. Well, that's not clear, because if you're buying it, you should say for purchase of Henderson. If it's for stud fee, it should say for stud fee for Henderson. But it just says for Henderson, it could be either one, couldn't it? Plaintiff says she always gets pick of the litter. Well, if she always gets pick of the litter, why would she suddenly want a stud fee of $350? I didn't say you did. I'm telling you, see, I have to read this and try and interpret it. And when something is subject to different interpretations, it puts me in a pickle. I've come to the conclusion that this was the sale of Henderson, that the defendant should prevail on that basis, and that the AKC papers should be given to her. And as I asked her, if you get the AKC papers, then the $2,700 goes down the drain, and she said yes. So the AKC papers are going to go to the defendant for Henderson. The plaintiff, and she received nothing monetarily. The plaintiff will receive $350 because she either had the pick of the litter or the stud fee. She can't have the stud fee, the pick of the litter, because the 3 puppies are gone, they're sold. So obviously there's nothing for her to get. So the plaintiff is entitled to an additional $350 for the stud fee.
Like Renee told me once that with her family, she even has contracts. And I asked her why she didn't have a contract with me. There's no answer to that, obviously.
My mom, over the last 4 or 5 years, has taught Renee everything she knows about dogs. She's taught her how to clip the ears, do the tails, and she's always done it for free.
You know what? I never wanted anything free from your mother.
You always have, Renee.
No, I haven't.
Yes,
you sure
have.
took it. You know what? And I appreciated it too.
No, you
I
didn't.
took care of your dogs.
This is how grateful you are.
Yeah.
This is how you appreciated it.
You know what? All I've done is try to keep the agreement that we made. If you want to change that around and twist it and turn it and make it into something else, that's your choice, and you will pay for it.
No.
And you have. Because
she got the money, so she didn't lose.
We had a good
Yeah,
friendship,
we did.
and you know what? The only reason why I didn't have a contract with you is because we had a good friendship. And I stated after the fact that I should have had a contract, because then there wouldn't have been any question.